Hey guys, Jenny from Project Mommy here with a beginner's guide to furniture flipping. So in this video, I'm gonna be remaking an end table, side table / nightstand from start to finish. Basically using minimal products, something that you can start off with as least amount of money, putting in as least amount of money as possible. And then I'm also going to go over some do's and don'ts for buying furniture and what to look for when you're just starting out. Obviously you want stuff that's going to be easier to flip and easier for you to work on. And then I'm also going to go over just a few products that I use now currently compared to when I first started furniture flipping. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, so the first product that I use obviously is going to be your chalk paint. I still use Behr chalk paint. So it's Behr chalk decorative paint. I get this at Home Depot. And this is probably one of my favorite colors. This is a gray, oh, there you go, called Chinchilla. But they have quite a few options. So in store they have like a little booklet with some colors, probably about like 20 different colors. But if you go onto homedepot.com and go onto their website and search for Behr chalk paint, they will show you all the other colors that are available, and there are tons. I'm gonna guess probably like 80 to 100 different colors that you can go for. So just a little tip, when you're in store, they will do all the colors that they have online as well. And this runs you $19.99 at Home Depot. It's pretty thick, but you can water it down. That's normally what I do with my chalk paint. That's pretty typical with any chalk paint. The next thing I'm going to talk about are my brushes. So this was in my last video that I showed what I use. This is a Worcester. This is a nylon brush, and it's a handheld palm one. So you can hold it in your hand just like this and brush on with it. This will range you, I want to say about $9 to $10 at Home Depot. Now this is for their higher end one, and they have a little bit cheaper one for $6. But I have a new best friend. So this brush here, which next to the Worcester, you could see here, is pretty much the same size, a little bit longer. These I found at Harbor Freight for $3.99. So $10 and $3.99, much better. And so far I've used this, I want to say at least 10 times now, and it's still great. Super soft. Again, these are just the nylon brushes. I like this for the chalk paint because it gives a smoother texture. The chalk paint is self-leveling most of the time, but this just kind of helps smooth out everything. The next brush, I talked about this already. This is still my favorite brush. This is the Zebra 1-inch round brush. This is still my favorite for my wax. So I use this strictly for furniture wax. You can see here it's really stiff as far as like putting on and circular motions, your wax, but it's also long enough to where I can kind of drag it like this, which I like. So again, Zebra, still my favorite. This was at Home Depot for $10. My furniture wax that I currently use, so I started with the Behr furniture wax. That's $14.99, I think, for a small can. It's like an 8-ounce can. With the Behr wax, I was having a little bit of trouble though. I was getting kind of like these white flaky specks on my furniture once it dried, and I'd have to go in and try to buff those out. So a little bit more time consuming. Not that it was a bad thing, it just a little bit more time consuming. So I found a new product from another Instagram furniture flipper, and this one is by Chalk Mountain, and this is their lavender furniture wax. This is a 16-ounce can compared to the 8-ounce can that I was getting with Behr, and I am absolutely in love with this, guys. This stuff is amazing. It smells good, first of all, which is kind of nice. It gives the furniture a little hint of smell. It goes away after a while, so it's not strong. But it goes on super smooth, easy to apply, And I will basically put it on, let it dry for about 10 to 15 minutes. Then I will wipe it away with a microfiber cloth, and then I will go back the next day and kind of buff it out a little bit. Yeah, so you can get this online. I will put a link to their website and a link to this product. It is not sponsored whatsoever. I purchased this strictly on my own. So Chalk Mountain, I'd love to use some more of your products. They're amazing. As far as primer goes, I'm still using Kiehl's primer. And I use the Premium 3 Interior Exterior. This is the heavy duty stain release. So this will cover over any kind of stains, odors, mold you really don't have to worry about. If you're working with something with mold, that'd be bad. But this is really good because, you know, you get some pieces that are a lot older. They're going to have a little bit of a musky smell to them. Sometimes you might get one if it's somebody who smokes in the house or has pets or, you know, anything like that. So this is still my favorite. This is a gallon size, and I purchased this at Home Depot for $26, and it lasts a long time. So this is my number one. If I'm working on a furniture and say I didn't prime it and I just started painting, and I happen to get a few spots kind of bleeding through, this has been my new go-to, and this is the Bullseye Shellac in the aerosol. And this was like $15 or $16, but this goes a long way. So I will basically, if a spot comes through, I will spray this on, let it dry, and then paint right over it, and that works just fine. A lot of furniture flippers use this. For my top coat, if I'm staining it, or if I don't want to use the wax on, say, a piece of furniture that I know is going to be used a lot, my go-to now is the Varathane polyurethane, and in the clear matte. This is water-based. All of my products are water-based. My primer, my paint, and my sealer are all water-based just because it's easier to clean up. But I was using a satin finish, and I switched over to the matte finish, and I love it so much more. It gives it a little bit more rustic look, and goes with my pieces a little bit better. To apply this is my new best friend. So this sponge, I got these on Amazon. I think it was like a 2-pack for like $3 or $4. So basically I will pour my poly into like another container. You basically dip it and then just spread, and it comes out so smooth and so perfect. So I will put a link on the description, a link in the descriptions for this product, as well as all the other products that I'm using today. As far as wood fillers, I have a few new products that I use. So if I'm just doing a quick filling in the drill holes for the hardware, I will use this. This is the DAP plastic wood in the color Natural. And you can just basically squeeze it in and then let it dry. This does take a little bit longer to dry though. So if I'm in a hurry, I have also this option. This is the Bondo wood filler. This is a 2-part mix, and this dries a lot faster. And this is like $7 or $8, and this is $13. It's a bigger container. And then if I have some really heavy duty pieces that are like missing wood, so if like a chunk came off, or say like a part of the leg's broken, or any part of the wood is missing, then I will use this Bondo all-purpose putty. Compared to size, just so you know, this is the wood filler, this is the all-purpose putty, and this is the same thing. This is a 2-part mix. So it has the Bondo, and then it has the hardener up on top. It has like a little tube for your hardener, and you basically mix the two. This will dry super fast, like within 2 minutes, I would say. So you have to work really fast with it, and then I usually give it about a half an hour to an hour to dry completely before I start sanding it. So hopefully I will do some videos in the future of pieces that are really damaged so that you can see how to fix structures like that. So for painting my hardware or my drawer pulls or knobs, my favorite is Rust-Oleum. For the black, I use this 2x Ultra Cover. This is an Ultra Matte. This is my favorite. And then if I'm doing a gold, this is my favorite gold. So this is their Universal Metallic, and I use the color Sunlit Brass. I also have a little bit brighter gold with sparkle in it. Sometimes I will mix the two, but most of the time this is my favorite. And then to seal that, I use the Behr polyurethane. This is also water-based. This is just an option, but I like to make sure that my pieces last a long time, and they're pulling on those handles every day, all day. So you really want to make sure that you seal it just so that it lasts for a long time. So price wise, you're looking at like $8 or $9, 12 or 13, and then like 15, 16. All at Home Depot or your local hardware store will probably have them. The last two things that I have are just options, but these are kind of like new things that I've found that I like. First thing are these little dollies. So basically the table leg goes here, and then you can kind of move around the table. So I have a set of these, basically a set of four. And I use this to kind of roll my furniture around. I got these at Harbor Freight for $5, $4.99. So those have been a little plus. And then my last thing would be these Diablo sanding disc. So these will basically, you can use these, let me do a close up, with your orbital sander. It has a Velcro piece that you put onto the bottom, and then you attach to this. It's almost like a net, so it's kind of see-through, super rough. This is if I'm getting off a lot. So if there's like, instead of peeling off any kind of primer or stain, I can just sand it down. I will use this. So this is super strong. This is an 80 grit. They also carry a 60 and I believe 100 and then 150 at the most. If you're getting into like the 200s, 300s, and 400s, I haven't seen those yet. So basically you put it on, you sand. When you're done, you wash it off, let it dry, and then you can reuse it. So these have been honestly a lifesaver. I got these at Home Depot for $15, and it was for a pack of 10 of them. I've had this for like maybe 2 months now, and I still like have 6 or 7 left. Okay, so last thing I'm gonna talk about is the paint sprayer. So I've gone through a couple paint sprayers to find the one that works for me. So I'm gonna go over those. The first one I got was the Wagner 4300. That is where the air compressor and the handle are completely separate, and there's a hose. That one had a large bottom feeder and then 2 top small feeders. I thought the 2 top ones, because those are more for detailed and smaller projects, would work, but some of the stuff I didn't like about it. One would be the top feeder would constantly clog. So I would have to take it off, clean it off, put it back in several times. And that's even with watering down my paint. The other thing I did not like was the hose was not super durable. So it actually cracked in 2 parts of the hose, and that was after using it for 1 day. So that I got at Home Depot was $1.99. I returned that one and then got the Wagner 3000. So the Wagner 3000 had the air compressor on the handle. So it's an all-in-one, has the handle and then the air compressor right behind it. That I actually liked. It wasn't heavy. I thought it was going to be like heavy and hard to use. It was not. It's super easy. I liked the finish that it had, that it was giving off. But the one thing I didn't like is it got really, really hot. And I'm assuming that's because the motor and fan and everything is right there by your hand. it made it a little bit uncomfortable to use. So I was doing a 3-piece set. It was like a large dresser, nightstand, and an armoire. And after 10-15 minutes, it was super hot and I had to turn it off and let it rest and then do it again. And I had to keep doing that after about every 10 minutes. So I don't know if it was just that particular one or if that happens to a lot of people. I'm just sharing the experience that I had. So I ended up returning that one and I got the Wagner 5000. So the Wagner 5000 is also a separate pump from the handle. And the hose is super durable on it. The handle's comfortable and it has the 2 bottom feeders that I wanted. So I'm gonna real quick turn the camera down and do kind of like an unboxing and show you what it looks like. But this so far is my favorite. All right, so this is the Wagner Flexio 5000. Comes in this nifty case here. And this case, when you open it up, voila. So this is where your pump is. These are your 2 nozzles and then your hose with your handle. So the pump stays here. This is the first nozzle that it comes with, which is the more detailed one for smaller pieces or smaller projects. So it has an adjustment so you can adjust spraying up or down or side to side. And then it has an adjustment here on your sprayer handle. And this is to put more pressure or less pressure. The bigger nozzle has a little bit more options. So up here at the top, you have the option to go smaller or wider. And then also here, you have the option to adjust the airflow, less air or more air. And then your nozzle is here, or your handle, I'm sorry, is here. There's also an adjustment here at the top. And this is for air power as well. All right, so to basically use this, it just glides into place. Put it in, snap it in just like that. And then you have your sprayer here. So this you can adjust to see how much I'm pushing here. And then if you tighten it on this little wheel, then it's pushing a little bit less. And then the hose here is super durable, super strong. I love this. And I love that it all kind of fits together. So if you guys want to see a tutorial on that, let me know. But this is my favorite sprayer. So these are the items that I've purchased or that I've gotten free in Marketplace in the last couple days, or that I found at yard sales or thrift stores. So first thing, let's talk about like these 2 dressers here. I purchased both of these for $20 each. So the first one here is all wood. Second one here is particle board. If you're a beginner, do not get particle board. The only reason why I got this is it's in really good condition. The drawers are really good, and yes, you can paint over it. But you can see here, I got some bubbles. I don't know if you can really see it. There we go. Some bubbles here that I'm gonna have to get rid of. Hopefully someday I can do a tutorial on how to do that, but this piece here would be perfect for anybody to start with. This is all wood. There are a few scratches on the top, but otherwise in really, really good condition. The drawers all work and slide nice, has all new hardware. That was a big plus. Second thing I got was these end table and coffee table set. This set, which I did a video kind of similar to this one, these are from Pure One Imports. The reason I like these, and this would be a good start for somebody, is because they are all solid wood and there's pretty much no stain or nothing. It's just raw wood, which is easy to use. Back here, I have a set of nightstands. So I got these separately. The first one I got at a thrift store for $7. And then a couple days later, I found this one for $15 at another thrift store. So this is the one that I'm gonna redo for you guys. We're gonna do this one because it's the easiest. We're gonna refinish this from start to finish for beginners. This is a really good set for beginners. So I'd highly recommend that. My other two pieces were free on Marketplace. And if people put it on Marketplace for free, there's usually two reasons why. One, it's too heavy and too big to move and they just want to get rid of it. Or two, it's pretty damaged and needs a lot of work. So these two are the perfect example. So this first set is in amazing condition, and it is a china cabinet. So there's the top, or the bottom, I'm sorry. And it is like the lady put cloth in here to protect it. The top here has felt. It is in really, really good condition. And then the top half as well. So this is super heavy, hard to move, and that's why they got rid of this piece. But I plan on separating that piece, so hopefully I will do a video on that. The second one I got for free was because it was really damaged. So with this, the bottom two drawers, the sliders are broken. It has a lot of damage. So I've got holes here. I've got big gouges here on the sides. Like really big gouges. Top is super rough and scratched. But most of all, I have big old gouges here. Almost like a puppy was chewing on this or something. So you could see here a whole lot of wood missing from here. So I can fix this. These are the kind of items I would use Bondo on. I love doing these because I don't want things to go to, the dump and get rid of. I want to be able to flip this and make it into a beautiful piece. So that will show you the two options on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're looking, if it's a free piece, go look at it, see if you can work on it, check out the drawers. Don't be afraid to say no if it's not for you. Okay guys, so the first step is to remove the hardware. You can use a power drill or just a regular screwdriver, whatever you have at home. Once we remove all the hardware, then we're going to do the most important step, which is cleaning our furniture. You want to make sure that you use a degreaser. This is just what I use and works for me. It's the Dawn soap and water mixture. Basically going to wipe down and scrub off all the oils, dust, dirt, anything that's going to be on it, just so that we can have a clean surface. After I go over it with the soap and water, then I'm going to go over it with just a clean cloth and just fresh bucket of water to get off any of the soap residue left over. So our next step is going to be sanding. Here I'm showing you, make sure to use some kind of safety goggles and a respirator just to protect yourself. I'm going to be using an 80 grit sandpaper on the top and then a 120 grit on the bottom. Just because on the top, I'm going to strip it down to the wood just along the edges there, which you will see. And then the rest is just to do a rough sanding on the whole piece. Once you're done sanding, you just want to wipe it down with a microfiber cloth, and then I will also take a damp cloth with just a little bit of water and wipe it down a little bit extra just to make sure that I get all the sawdust off. So this next step is optional, but I am going to fill the holes with the wood filler because I'm going to use a slightly smaller hardware. This is only optional. You can refinish the existing hardware, which is a lot easier. I was just going for a different style on this one, so I wanted to change it up. Now that we are all prepped and ready to go, we can start painting. With chalk paint, I usually do about 2 to 3 coats. If it's a lighter color like this one, I'm actually going to do 3 coats total. Now that I've painted the whole piece, I'm going to whitewash the trim. So I take a little bit of the paint into a mixing cup, and then I dilute it with quite a bit of water. It's probably a 1:10 ratio if I had to guess. I'm basically gonna brush that on, and then I take a damp cloth and wipe it away as needed. Usually that takes me about 2 to 3 times, or 2 to 3 coats to get the right color that I want. So here I'm drilling my holes for my new hardware. Like I said, this is optional. I have this little device that kind of measures it out. I will link in the descriptions where I got this from on Amazon. But this is how I measure out my holes, and then I just use my power drill with a 3/16 drill bit to drill my holes and then attach my hardware. With this piece, I decided to do a little bit of a rough sanding just to give it more farmhouse kind of rustic look. So I'm just using a 120 grit sandpaper along the edges and creases just to kind of rough it up a little bit. So the next step is to seal the top. I always use a polyacrylic or polyurethane on the top just to give it a little bit more durable. This one is Behr polyurethane, and then I'm using my blue sponge to spread it on. Once I've sealed the top, then I use the furniture wax here on the bottom piece of the furniture. After my piece dries for about 10 minutes when applying the wax, then I go back over with a microfiber cloth and kind of buff it out just to give it a little bit of a smooth finish. And the last step is just putting it back together and admiring your great work. Alright guys, so hopefully this video was helpful for you. I will put down in the description below all the products that I've used and that I've talked about, and then if you have any questions whatsoever on furniture flipping, feel free to leave a comment down below and I will get back to you. Also, if you want to see some of my other pieces, you can go onto my Instagram, project.mommy. I update on there weekly, if not daily, and all of the projects that I do and all the furniture flipping I do post onto there. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.